Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of On the Field presented by Windows. I'm Greg Lalas, aka Gagens on Twitter. Now we're going to do something a little different today. Rather than break down a goal, we're going to compare and contrast two players. New York Red Bulls forward Bradley Wright-Phillips and New York City FC forward David Villa. These two are both prolific goal scorers, but they play in very different ways. Let's start with Bradley Wright-Phillips. Last year's Golden Boot winner is kind of a throwback. A classic center forward who does most of his work in the middle channel. Look at his heat map from New York's game against DC United this year. This shows vividly, almost ridiculously, where he likes to set up shop on the field. And it plays to his strengths, which are twofold. First, he can be a target man, playing with his back to goal and linking up with the midfield. Second, as in this goal against DC United, he can do two things. He can ride the offside line, and then he can curl in behind the defense for a long ball over the top or a through ball.
Over the top they go towards Bradley Wright-Phillips, who's there. Wright-Phillips, what can he do? That!
Now how is Villa different? Well, the all-time leading scorer for the Spanish national team has made a career out of floating to the wings. Here's his heat map for NYCFC's win over New England in their home opener this year. Look at those big green spots on both flanks. That's where Villa goes to find space for his teammates to get him the ball. Then, typically, he turns and races diagonally inside, something that can terrify most defenders. This is how Villa scored in that New England game. He got the ball out on the left flank, cut inside in order to play a give and go. What does that lead to? He gets the ball right back afterward, he's in the box, in space, and he slots home his shot to the joy of 50,000 fans at Yankee Stadium.
Villa, whose nickname has always been El Guaje, the kid. Here he is again. Villa throw! Oh, he scored now! David Villa bringing the house down at Yankee Stadium.
The question is, with the New York derby here, who's been more effective so far in 2015? Let's look at some more stats. It turns out that both get roughly the same number of big chances to score themselves each game. But Villa is getting many more shots, 3.7 shots per game compared to Wright-Phillips' 2.6 shots per game. On the other hand, BWP is helping his teammates more. He's creating 1.9 chances per game for others compared to Villa's 1.6. All of that makes sense really, because this year under Jesse Marsch, the Red Bulls are looking for more than goals from Wright-Phillips. For their team-oriented attack to work, they need him to also relieve pressure as a target man, which will naturally then lead to more assists. Meanwhile, Villa is doing exactly what NYCFC brought him in to do. Try to score as many goals as possible through quick interplay and wreaking havoc in the defense with his movement. Two very different styles, but both effective and beautiful in their own ways. That's it for this week's On the Field presented by Windows. If you've got any suggestions for breakdowns, hit me up on Twitter @Gagens and use the hashtag OnTheField. We'll see you next week.